Hey, genderqueer chatters. It's Stephan here, and this week we are talking about sex. Yes, and sorry I missed last week. It was last week was teaching you something. So, in honor of catching up, I will teach you how to have sex. No, just kidding. I will make that one up later. But staying on topic for today, just like Sam, I thought of that exact same song. Oh man, it's just so pervasive in our 90s childhood culture, I guess. But anyways, um okay. So, starting with the actual topic, how does being genderqueer affect you sexually? What would your ideal relationship look like? How has your sexual orientation shifted with your gender identity? And am I interested in dating other trans people? Okay. So, um, okay, in terms of being genderqueer affecting me sexually, in a lot of ways it doesn't, for me personally. I don't really have a high degree of dysphoria about my body in terms of sex. Um, I do, I did have a lot of dysphoria about my breasts, but it wasn't in a sexual way. It was in having other people see me and them getting in the way of things that I wanted to do kind of way. Like, I wanted to be topless and that couldn't happen, and I wanted to have people see me as someone who was flat chested, and that wasn't happening, and clothes weren't fitting me right. I wanted to wear shirts that didn't work with me while I had breasts. Um, but in a sexual way, I completely, liked having my nipples played with. I liked that sensation. One of the things that was really sad for me after I had surgery was that I did not have nipple sensation for a very, very long time. And even now, when I do, it's kind of fickle. It'll be like really hypersensitive and will like hurt to touch them. And then like the next week, I won't be able to feel anything. It's like really weird with all like the nerves regenerating and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting now because I'm so used to like having them be a part of my sexual experience, and they're not as much at the moment. But I'm hoping that once they kind of sort themselves out, then they can kind of, slowly come back into the picture. So you're not jumping right in my pants, you know what I mean? So, but in terms of like below the belt, I've never had a problem with having a vagina. Um, I enjoy what it does for me, and I, sometimes when I'm having sex, I'll like picture having a penis or having my partner have a penis, but it's just like in the realm of like, fantasies and what's going on, but it's not something that I have to do in order to feel good while I'm having sex. It's not something that I have to do in order to make myself okay with things. It's just kind of fun. So, that's what's going on there. Um, I guess like I've been gender queer, or like at least questioning my gender variance and stuff like that ever since I started having sex. So I don't really know what it would have been like to have sex prior to knowing about my gender issues. Um, because even when I was in very early relationships, I knew that there was something up with the gender thing. So just having, even when I had breasts, having a partner that respected the fact that I was not female, regardless of the fact that I had breasts, that was amazing. Because it's really not about what I had or didn't have. It's about how my partner saw me that was the issue. And I think that kind of relates into the sexual orientation part of this because prior to starting my transition, I was only attracted to other female-bodied people, primarily in the lesbian community, because that's the community that I was in. I identified as, like Sam said, a gay female-bodied person. Didn't really like the term lesbian. I didn't personally like the term dyke either, because they both to me were, a woman who's in love with women, and I didn't see myself as a woman, even when I wasn't sure what I was. Like, I was like, well, I know what I'm not. Um, but anyways, so prior to transitioning and dealing with a lot of my gender stuff, I was primarily attracted only to other people in the lesbian community. But an interesting thing happened. Okay, in the trans community, there's this whole myth or hype or whatever about the fact that T makes you gay. And it's true and it's not true in a lot of ways. I am definitely more interested in being attracted to people of all different sides of the spectrum these days. Primarily, I'm mostly attracted to people who are androgynous or like feminine men and more masculine women, or people who are like right in the middle. And okay, so when I started testosterone, not only did, my sex drive increase incredibly because of all the changes that were happening downtown, but I also found myself being attracted to like everything that moves, and increasingly more and more attracted to men, like of all varieties. And I think there's a couple different theories for this. Like, one theory I have is that, I've always been attracted to a wide variety of people, but because people were starting to see me as a man, it was okay for men to like me. Prior to that, I was like a man-hating lesbian, like I just didn't want anything to do with them. But I think it was because of the way that they saw me as female. But if they saw me as male, then it's a different type of interaction that we can have. Um, so I had like this whole like am I gay crisis when I started the testosterone, and then I realized that just because like you're attracted to a lot of different things doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go and have all of those experiences necessarily. As long as you're happy with the person that you're with, it doesn't necessarily exclude you from finding everything else attractive. Like, your person that you're with is like here, and then like what you're attracted to is like here, and there's like a Venn diagram thing like where they meet, like this. So as long as the person that you're attracted to fits within the realm of what you find attractive, then it works. So, I'm lucky enough to have a partner that is, gender bendy and okay, doing role play and things like that. So, I mean, we can be gay together, we can be girls together, we can do whatever we want and basically fulfill whatever either of us want to do. If I was not with my current partner, then I think I might, kind of go, looking in the trans masculine area, or even maybe into the male non-trans area, but that would be a little bit of a stretch at this point, just because it's something I'm not familiar with. Um, so yeah, we did that. We did that. Another interesting note about like testosterone is, how like I described the dramatic sex increase as I was taking testosterone. As I was coming off of testosterone, like there was like 2 weeks where I wanted none of sex, like nothing, absolutely nothing. But then it evened out where it's actually at a lot more manageable level for me. I still have a very high sex drive, but it's not to the point where like my job is paying me hours a day to masturbate in the bathroom like I was when I was in testosterone. Shh, don't tell anybody. Um, so yeah, so I'm really satisfied with my sexual relationships right now, and I enjoy sex and being on the channel. So hi, hope you guys enjoy it, and if you have questions, let me know.